What is up, good people? Welcome back to the Sinusoidal Music channel. It's your boy, Prince Charazad. I've got a fresh track for you guys this week. The artist is called Brett Koolik. He's from South Florida. He's been making tunes since he was 14 years old, and it really shows in his songwriting and musicianship. On his recent projects, he's had the chance to work with musicians like Juice WRLD, Lil Wayne, and Meek Mill, which is really awesome. So let's check out his track. Right before I hit that play button, I just wanted to tell you guys that we, Sinusoidal Music, have got a newsletter which you guys can subscribe to for exclusive recommendations and other things related to music. It would go a long way in helping us out, so if you would like to do that, the link is going to be in the description. But without further ado, let's get into the track for the day. This is Paradise Valley Faultline.
Built a house in paradise valley on a fault line where it never gets cold. Still I hold you so close, and everybody's leaving. There's probably a reason, but we're staying anyway. They'll say what they're gonna say.
Okay, so first things first, that piano, which is giving us the intro. Super cool syncopated chords kind of going on in the beginning, and the chords and the melody. Right after that, we get into a very mellow, like a whole note feel. And this part just feels like you would see the establishing shot of a film where you're just seeing the surroundings. You're seeing what situation you're in. You're just like getting a feel of where you're at. The vocals are amazing. They're performed to perfection. I think they're mixed really well, and I think it just works really well for this entire vibe that the song has created in the first few seconds that we've listened to so far. And there's also a little bit of orchestral swells going on along with the chords on the piano. So that just gives us this feeling of theme music. At least for me personally, it reminds me of the theme track from either a really intense movie or a video game, which is, just full of emotion. And this entire part just feels like I'm beautifully suspended in animation. And that's where we're at while we're starting out the track. But let's continue on and see where we're heading.
What they're gonna say, that we're fools to think this valley never rains. But we saw the flood and looked the other way.
Okay, so that orchestration is, really kicking in now. There's like some plucked strings, which is like a classic orchestra vibe to get in that bouncy feeling in your music. The timing is also picked up. It's more into like a double time kind of feel where we started out with whole notes. Now we're just like, they're kind of like into like half notes where we're just like 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're just getting a pulse. We're slowly getting some energy into the music. And this is also where the story is progressing. But let's see where it's progressing to. I do want to talk about the lyrics and all of the meaning behind the words in this song, but I want to get to it. I want to get to the right part.
Maybe we're just self-destructive lovers passing signs. Maybe I'm just holding on, hoping the good things just take time. It's paradise, don't close your eyes, it's always evergreen. Maybe I'm just holding on, 'cause I need something to believe.
Whoa. Okay, so I think everything is coming together beautifully well in this part. This is kind of the chorus of the song. And I think this is a really cool example of the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And this is pulled off very well because there's a lot of different instrumentation happening here. In this part, you have the drums kicking in, and you also have this orchestral, plucky, bouncy, the plucked strings kind of vibe coming in a little bit more strongly. And of course, that pulse is also continuing into the story. So I think now is a good time to talk about the story and the lyrics. Literally, we're talking about lovers living in a paradise valley. Faultline, because there is also a lot of calamities happening in this place, and people are all like, hey dude, you're just fucked, this place is fucked, and the lovers are like, oh no, we're all over here and we're gonna be good. And that creates a really interesting narrative, because it's like you're attached to a place, right? And physical places can have that impact on our mental well-being. So on the surface, it's just a story of two lovers who have found their beautiful paradise valley, and then they're refusing to leave it, right? For whatever reason. One of the reasons could be maybe we're just self-destructive lovers passing signs. But it could also be because maybe I'm just looking for something to hold on to, and that's what the lyrics go like towards the end of the chorus. And I think that gives us an insight into what the song is talking about under the hood. It's a matter of faith, right? You could put your faith in anything. It could be God, it could be music, it could be other people, it could be your family. But at the end of the day, maybe we all just need something to believe in that gives us that energy to just go about doing everything else that we want to do in our lives, and something that can just ground us. And I think that's a really beautiful way to put this across, because in this day and age, we sometimes forget how much of an impact our physical surroundings can have on us. And this is a good homage to that, just being in a physical space is going to change your frame of mind so much. And as we move on right into the next section, which is the next verse, listen to that transition, because you have these crescendos building up in each segment of the chorus. So each line is kind of like na 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 na. So it's really rising, each time, and it continues to rise. And at the end, it's got like this really big drum, maybe a timpani, which is just like ringing out towards the end of the chorus. And to bring this entire vibe back, we've risen up all the way, we've gone to 100, and then suddenly with the drums you're kind of going back to this bass sound, which is like a 0, and then you have these beautiful flowing arpeggios which bring us right back into the verse. Let's listen to that a little bit closely.
We built a house in paradise, valley on a fault line where sometimes the earth shakes, keeping us up late. But we still got integrity, even as the ground below is crumbling. You comfort me. Maybe we're just self-destructive lovers passing signs. Maybe I'm just holding on, hoping the good things just take time.
Oh, cool. That was so cool. So the verse comes back around the second time. Structurally and melodically, it's kind of the same. But what's really interesting, and this is something about songwriting, what's really interesting is that the energy of this part is different. So remember in the beginning where we had this whole note feel going on, and it was more of like a very slow, very calm kind of build-up happening. Now, even though the same structure, we've got these peppy chords on the piano. We've got a lot of percussive elements coming in. You can hear the tambourine going off. We've got some rim shots. And of course, the drum beat itself is giving it this energy. So it's a really cool way to kind of structure a song, that melodically you don't have to get really complicated or keep on progressing with your ideas, but it's just about how you're executing the same melodic ideas. Like the core of your song is of course going to be the same, and that's what makes it a great song, because there's variety, but there's also variety coming from this common base. So you have this kind of thing, this melodic idea, which connects the entire song. Each segment of the song is tied with that, and really, really cool lesson in songwriting to take away from Brett Koolik right here. So, my final thoughts on Paradise Valley Faultline. One really cool thing which I think I want to highlight once again is how this song makes such good use of all the multiple elements that have gone into the track, right? So I keep on saying that less is more, and I do firmly believe that. But if you are going for a vibe where you have a lot of instrumentation going on, I think this is the way to do it, because you've got space for each of the elements and still they're working together. It's again what Aristotle said, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And that's the only time that you should even be doing, including a lot of elements in the song. Because if you're not doing it to contribute to the whole, to the song as an experience, then, I don't know, what's the point of adding like a lot of layers to your song? And the musicianship is awesome. It's executed so well. You can just sense that feeling of like groove in the music, and I think that's always a treat to listen to some really good music coming from really great musicians. And last but not least, we've got an amazing mix and a great master which puts this entire song together very seamlessly. So that was our time for today. You're going to get all the links to Brett Koolik and his music and his Instagram and his socials down in the description below. So go check him out, show him some love because man, he deserved it. This track is just like, it's right in the feels. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel. Maybe you can check out another one of our videos. There's going to be on the screen somewhere. I'll link to a couple of playlists as well in the description below so you can check out some of our other artists as well. And I'll catch you in the next one. This is Prince Charazad for Sinusoidal Music, signing off.